What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's one of my favorite nights of the week. And this week is no different. Why? Because I have some of the hottest, the best, the baddest people in the professional wrestling world. And this week is just the same as every other week as far as the top names in the planet of professional wrestling. This person is a former WWE SmackDown tag team champions, multiple time tag team champion, by the way. And he has a big red beard, ladies and gentlemen. He has a big distinguished red beard. He's a big guy. He's like a big like tree trunk, you know what I mean? Like a dangerous tree trunk that you never want to go by, that you get like super scared by when you're around him. Very, very unique character in the WWE. He was a former member of the Wyatt family, as you all know. You know this guy. His entrance is just, I'm just killing time at this point because of course you know who he is. He's Erick Redbeard, formerly known as Erick Rowan. How are you tonight, my man?
I'm great. What's up?
It's great to have you on the show tonight, my man.
Great to be here, man.
Awesome. Before we go, you might want to tone the volume up a little bit. I don't know if you have earplugs, earphones. But yeah, man, we've got a lot of questions ready for you. But before we jump on, man, promote what you got going on, man. Where can you find you on Twitter? You got anything, any dates coming up or anything?
I will be at a place called PPW in. I'm terrible at promoting these shows now that I'm just starting after COVID. So it's a PPW. Check out at Erick Redbeard on Twitter or Instagram. You'll find out where that is. But I'm performing out there June 12th, so this Saturday.
Awesome. Good stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to find that out for you. So if there's a flyer or anything. PPW, you said?
Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania, Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice. That's just a state away from me. I'm in Ohio, so good stuff. All right, and you got some merch. It looks like.
I got merch. It's all you can find it. Links through my Instagram, Twitter. Just look up there at Erick Redbeard or grudgematchbrand.com.
Nice.
Has exclusive shirts. Otherwise, pro wrestling tees. And if you want to see what I have going on with films coming out in the future, look up my IMBD under my name, Joseph Root, and you'll see things that are coming out in the future.
Fantastic. All right, let's dive right into these questions. Guillermo starting with saying, the first time that Bray set you free, you turned face and joined Team Cena. Were there any other plans if Sheamus didn't get injured or not?
Plans for myself? Is that what the question is? I'm trying
to. Yeah, I'd imagine.
So I know there was talk about having me come out, because I remember before that I was coming out during Natty matches while TJ would wrestle or whatever. And I think they originally wanted me and her to do something together, kind of like this odd, thing, but nothing came to light of it, because I know I did some backstage thing with Renee, played with her hair, and they found, oh, well, Natty's blonde, let's try something with her. Which would have been interesting, because everything, I did up there was obviously weird.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that was kind of the route. But I think the day that Sheamus got hurt, I did some backstage with Ms. Dow and Grumpy Cat. I'll never forget that, because I was like, is this what's going on? Is this what I'm going to be? Unfortunately, Sheamus got hurt, but at least it got me, doing some other stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, that was
no offense to Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, right. No offense to Grumpy Cat, but I think you were in a better spot at that time with the replacement there. Guillermo was also asking, how did the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick was born, and it will always was it always to plan a debut against Breezango or not?
The Bludgeon Brothers was 100% Vince McMahon's idea. I mean, bludgeon. It's an action. It looks like it.
Yeah.
It's something that you can do. Luckily, we had a little bit of say with the outfits. I think the original thing that they wanted us to wear was something close to demolition leather.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. But it was kind of cool to put some Nordic twist on it, and with the masks and stuff like that. And that was the only entrance music I had any say in, so I was actually happy with that entrance music.
Very nice.
But as far as being the plan with Breezango, I don't think there was ever a plan. They just wanted us to bludgeon people.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
That's a powerful word. But we couldn't bludgeon them with our hammers because they were mallets.
They were.
They could not be called hammers, because only one guy in the company right now can have a hammer, and that's a sledgehammer.
Yes, indeed. I think we can read between the lines with that one. So it was a meteoric rise from the Bludgeon debut to y'all won the tag team championships. I was in New Orleans at WrestleMania 34, that was, right? It was the triple threat, New Day, Usos, and y'all, right?
Yeah. It might have been 32.
No, 32 was Dallas. Oh, no, 32 was
yes, 34.
Dallas. Well, it was 34.
I'm already forgetting all the numbers. They just all kind of go on top of each other.
34 was New Orleans. I was there, actually. I was very close to the ramp. Yeah.
30 and 34 were in New Orleans, because
that's right.
They like to go back to the same 2 or 3 states in the cycle.
Yeah. As well, the proof is they'll be in Dallas next year. So let's go right back around that loop. Quick piggyback off of that. If there was one city and state that you would like for WWE to host WrestleMania at, where would it be here in the States?
I always wanted it in Minneapolis when I was there.
Yeah.
Because you always want it in your hometown.
Yeah.
I always thought Minneapolis would be great for it. There's a lot to do out there that people just don't realize how great Minneapolis is. There's a lot to do out there.
Home of the Vikings. You got a stadium right there for you.
Brand new stadium.
Yeah.
Terrible football team lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Minneapolis would be the choice.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Devin is asking, how was your time in the locker room, or did you and the family have a separate locker room?
We have no a separate locker room.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call many locker rooms in WWE locker rooms. I'd call them small closets.
Really?
As bloated as the roster got at times, they just squeezed everybody into those things.
At one point in time, how many people did you share the room with at one
there was one time when we'd have like 40 people in one little room.
Wow.
You'd put your bag in there and just walk away. Sometimes I'd put my bag up on top of stuff and like just go get stuff I needed because it was just too busy in there.
Wow. Was there any dialogue that happened in there often, or is just in and out a lot of times from your experience there in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, it's just in and out. Like, if you want to watch the show, sometimes they have a monitor set up in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have a talent viewing area set up, which kind of disappeared after a while. But yeah, like, you watch the show in there or the training room or just, everyone kind of hangs out different places.
Gotcha. Let's see. Let's go to Guillermo's asking some good questions here. On a video, you were dragging the corpse of Sister Abigail. Was there any plan for that storyline or not?
So that video I did all on my own because I was bored when I got hurt. I did it with my buddy Jason Baker, who does some work with them now.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that was just me playing around with like a backstory to the character I wanted to show, them, because they wouldn't give me or Brody time to have backstories. And I was like, well, I'm hurt. Why don't I just film my backstory? But they never wanted to use it. My hope was they'd want to use it. But to me, it was just a way of telling a backstory to a character that didn't really get a chance to talk in the microphone. If you don't talk in the microphone, no one knows who you are or where you come from.
Exactly. Otherwise you just get what they assume, and that makes it even worse to you. It's kind of like, a strike or two against y'all if there's no type of backstory with it. So that's what wrestling's all about, So someone who's been watching wrestling myself for over 35 years, you want to buy into the character, you know what I mean? And when it makes it harder when you don't give someone a reason to buy into it until they, until you get into the ring, which is good. But at the same time, the reason why you're in the wrestling business is because you can wrestle, you know what I mean? So you gotta be distinguished and you gotta have a character. So I agree with you 100%. So Ronald's asking, what's your favorite memory with the Wyatt family?
Favorite memory? I mean, you got to go to the Shield. Wyatt family dynamic, especially the first time we touched in, I think it was London. We had a little bit of a brawl that got broken up by Reigns and Wyndham. But like, just moments and things like that, because I know we worked the Elimination Chamber, but then we worked main event, Raw, and SmackDown all that next week. So we just did match after match after match and trying to top each one. So like, it was a lot of fun going thinking back to those memories.
Yeah, I remember it was like the Hogan Warrior type of feel, like no touch, but just kind of face off each other. I love that type of feel because I remember when y'all were on one side of the ring and the Shield was on the other side, and they would just pop for that. And I'm like, that's what it's all about right there. And y'all would move closer to the ring, then y'all would get in the ring, that would get a louder pop, and y'all would walk closer. Like, I love that type of intrigue when it comes to just the art of professional wrestling. Was there any plans for y'all to actually have that 6-man match at Mania?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know what happened with that. It was just weird. It just went from that to him working Cena, and then Cena, beating all of us. But Cena's superhuman, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
To be able to get rid of the monsters.
Yeah, but not at y'all expense though. That's the issue. Let's see. How did the Wyatt family first come about?
So it started with the character that Bray Wyatt had with the Hawaiian shirts, stuff like that. Then he did some sort of vignettes with Dusty, and it was completely kind of different thing. And then when they finally decided to kind of go with it. I know Brody was the first one that would be like the first son of, Bray.
Mm-hmm.
It was just called the first son, and he was on NXT for a couple weeks when NXT started, separating itself from main roster stuff to its own entity and show. And then maybe 3 days before, because we had done some, things backstage, but I had tried different promos with them, but I would wear different masks, no mask, pajama bottoms. I didn't know what I was going to wear. And it was 2 days before one of the NXT tapings, you're like, okay, you're going to be the second son of Bray, which me and Brody thought was funny because we're older than him. So
yeah,
we're sons. And it just kind of evolved from there with the rocking chairs and all that stuff. And I remember being at TV and all I had was a pair of trunks with the not Viking symbol on the back. So I was doing a Viking gimmick, or I had a pair of, pajama bottoms. I couldn't wear a pair of jeans because that's what Brody was wearing. And I was like, well, what am I going to wear? And luckily in the trunk of my car, I had a farm suit from a Norwegian reality show I did, because I hoard some things and keep some things. So I just had it in the trunk of my car that day. I cut the sleeves off. I said, will this work? And that became the little onesie outfit. And from there, I think, we had won the NXT titles. Wyndham gets called up. But then we're told we're all going to get called up. So we're going to start filming vignettes. And the same thing in the trunk of my car. After trying all these different masks, I had the Sheepmass in the trunk of my car. And me being the opportunist, took it off the trunk of my car to Chris Chambers, who was filming the vignettes for the main roster. And I said, what do you think about this? And I put it on and kind of went in the woods and turned my head with the outfit. He loved it. So they put it in. And from there on, we got to use it. So it was kind of cool to have that and see it evolve just from something that was in the trunk of my car that wasn't necessarily planned out.
Yeah. So is the Sheepmass your IP since you came up with it, or is it WWE stuff still?
It's really funny because I don't think anybody can answer that.
Okay.
Every the plain white mask, WWE can't own that because that is a Halloween mask from a Halloween store. Somebody owns the copyright to that.
Yeah.
I took a different one and I got a mold of it. And me and Jason Baker, the guy who helped with the mallets for the Bludgeon Brothers, he works with Tom Savini, and they were able to take the original white mask that I had, and I had an idea to make it more like a horror element, put veins in it, make it look living, breathing, like I put it together with pieces of hair. Which, fun fact, the masks, the hair that were on the ear that I wanted, that hair is actually leftover hair from Fluffy character from Creepshow.
Wow.
But it evolved into me making all these different masks, because usually the company will front the bill for a lot of these different ideas and gimmicks.
Oh, nice.
They paid for the hammers, which means they kept the hammers. I paid for all my masks. I get to keep all of my masks.
Nice.
So it's kind of that thing. A lot of those masks I never even wore on TV. So those ones I can wear. But it's
there you go.
It's some weird thing where they'll try to go after you if you wear some stuff that you wore in the ring, which I don't know if they can. I think they can try, and nobody wants to fight them. But
right.
I don't really know the legal answer to that.
Interesting. Very interesting. If you're in the clear, would you bring the mask back out?
I don't necessarily think I need it, but maybe for a fun special occasion, that'd be fun.
There you go. Yeah. Start signing off at different signings and things like that, and making a buck or two for them. So
people seem to have good memories of the Wyatt family. So.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. James is asking, would you consider signing to AEW? It was a pleasure seeing you during the Brody tribute there.
I take care of my family. If it came to it and it was a good deal, yes. If it's not a good deal for me and my family, no. Am I in the process right now of trying to wrestle and have fun doing it and accomplish things? Yes. Am I enjoying the opportunity to stretch myself creatively and work on acting and doing different things outside of this Erick Rowan, Erick Redbeard character? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fun and rewarding to play different characters. In wrestling, you're going to be the same guy. You just get to keep playing that character over and over and over again in different avenues and different storylines. So think about it. I've been playing the same character because it's always like a piece of you. Like, I'm fascinated with serial killers. Like, I'm fascinated with the psyche. If you look at some of the interviews and things, the way they talk, it's like somebody that's behind bars on death row that did some horrible stuff. And keeping it PG.
My PhD's in forensic psychology, so I share that weirdness with you, my man.
So, but it's like you look at some of these guys who play these characters on TV for 10 years, and which is what I've been doing.
Yeah,
it gets a little stale, and you want to be able to play something else. And I think me having the opportunity to do other things is really helpful in me wanting to get back out and do wrestling. So I just started doing shows again, last weekend, and I had fun. So if I'm having fun doing something, I'm going to keep doing it. Whether or not it's going to be for AEW, back to WWE, Japan, I don't know. And I like that I don't know, because that's what wrestling is. You never know what's going to happen. If I knew what was going to happen, it just wouldn't be fun.
Indeed. As Roddy Piper say, as soon as you think you have all the questions, I change the answers. The other way around. As soon as you think you have all the answers, I change the questions. See, I don't know, I guess.
You seem positive. I would have believed you if you wouldn't have corrected yourself.
For the integrity of Roddy Piper, the legendary Roddy Piper, I'll have to correct myself on that one. Is the Royal Rumble, Larry's asking, is the Royal Rumble fun to participate in?
For me personally, no.
No, not why not?
Most battle royales and Royal Rumbles, I was booked terribly. And by saying booked terribly, I was always either in there really long and was not able to eliminate anybody according to the book. And that gets
you were told not to eliminate anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Otherwise, you're told when they're trying to supposedly push you, you have to go in and go out right away and not get any shots in or look at it all. Just make this other guy into a monster, which is fine. But to me, it's just not fun. Yeah. The first one I was in was fun because it was like the first time. But then doing battle royals between and just having a sour taste in it because of the way that you're booked in it. But like, there's 50, 40, 30 people in these things. Not everybody's going to be able to be booked properly in them, so it's not going to be fun for everybody.
That's true. Yeah. Leonard's asking, Eric, it's great to have you here. Were there talks of getting another member into the Wyatt family apart from the original 4? Well, the original 3, and then Braun joined. So
thanks for correcting the original 3. Because I was sitting at home sick. I had a injury, and I had to watch from home as they had a new member come, and I'm like, so is this like a replacement thing? So I didn't wait till I got there. I'm like, oh, okay, no, just a 4th member.
So did they ever tell you about Braun joining, or that you were kept out the loop just as much as everybody else was?
So I had all these different masks ready to go, and I think Wyndham wanted me to wear a black mask, and I said no, because when I'm behind you, black gets disappeared, especially in these dark shots. And I said, I'm going to wear this new latex one because I want to have all these different. I had a clown one, I had all these different ones, and I said I'm going to wear these different ones every week because they pop out and people notice them. And then I'm sitting at home and I get a call from Brody, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm gonna have this guy debut tonight. Just make sure you know, not surprised." So, and then I see him call it with the black mask, and I was like, I knew that's Wyndham's idea.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I gave him a little crap for that, but
yeah. Well, at least it was good to know that you weren't getting ditched. It was just an addition. Yeah. James is asking your thoughts on Braun getting fired.
A year ago I was in the same position. That's what you get when you sign that big money contract. It's not guaranteed money, man.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. As much as it seems like it, it's not. You're right about that.
Nothing in this world is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Just got back on the horse and keep moving on, man.
That's right. Riju's asking, how did the cameo in AEW come about? Were there ever talk about a long-term deal?
I wouldn't call it a cameo. I'd call it a very unfortunate, sad thing. That, to me, COVID, you can't say goodbye to anybody because there was no funerals going on.
Mm.
And this was an opportunity to say goodbye to people I needed to be around a wrestling family, around his family. And to me, it was a beautiful thing. And I was honored to be a part of it. So that's how it came about, because of a very unfortunate thing. But to me, it was very healing to be around such a beautiful thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally.
So, second part of the question, no, never any talk. I went there for one thing.
The spider angle, the spider gimmick. What did you want to present in the cage instead of the spider? And how did that even come about?
First off, that spider. It's like I remember getting drafted to Raw. Them not using me for a little bit. I have a match with Seth. I know the match is to get Seth over because I know that he was going to have the match with the Fiend. So they wanted to put him over a little bit strong. But I was the big guy. They had me lose, I think, with the forklift. So I was like, okay, well, they kept me strong. They must have kept me strong for a reason. Fast forward to the next week or 2 weeks later, I think we're in Europe, and I'm on main event, and me and Eric Young are teaming up versus Myers and Ryder.
Yeah.
So they get the victory over us. And to me, I got no problems losing, but I said, well, you guys just had me with your champion, and now you have us losing this tag match.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, whatever. And we worked it out. We did the match. And then next thing I know, I have a writer coming up to me. Hey, we have this backstage thing you have to do. It's like, you got a cage with you. And I'm like, what? A cage? yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be like, what do you mean? What's in it? So I end up talking to Heyman. I'm like, what's all this about? And he's very good at trying to get people to, go along with an idea. And from the way it was pitched to me, it was going to be a pet rat. And eventually it would get stomped and killed by somebody who does the stomp gimmick for his finish. It's like, okay, well, that'd be a cool character development, I guess. I could make it kind of work, because in my head, I'm just thinking, people that have mental health issues sometimes need to get service animals. Maybe this is my way of, I had to go see a therapist because I just came from an angle where I tried to kill Roman Reigns. So I'm trying to, like, in my head think, okay, well, I'd get the service animal because, like, my mind works in that kind of way. And I said, this could work. Just, it went on for so many weeks of carrying around the cage. I was able to talk once in a backstage. They actually used it on TV. I was like, okay. And then I was told, don't ever talk again right now. Just do baby talk and just leave it to mystery. And I was like, okay, well, this is just, you had me talking, you had me doing promos, being a character, and now you just want me to carry a cage and be quiet.
Well,
So to me, creatively, it just wasn't fun. I kept pitching really fun, crazy ideas. I think the craziest I pitched was I was watching American Horror Story and saw Ma Petite, little woman in real life. She's like this tall. She's a little Indian woman from India, and she's an actress. And I thought, if we could get her to build a cage that's just a little bit bigger and for a reveal in front of a live audience, the crowd will go insane because it's something they've never seen before. And then we could film something backstage where something terrible happens to her, because terrible things never happen, within the storyline, and stay real. Mm-hmm. So then I can work on a range of acting backstage, and you see a change within me and a vulnerability you've never seen before. And then you could either make me face or heel, depending on that. Mm-hmm. And I had Heyman was loving it. He was the head of creative, so it just didn't go through. And then the next thing I know, my buddy Jason couldn't tell me, but they had basically hired him to make this electrical spider look real. And next thing I know, it's what was in the cage.
Wow.
So I was very upset with that. And
yeah.
They debuted it, and then the next week they kill it, even though I pitched something right after they debuted it too. Like, hey man, let's maybe. I was watching the movie It, where it is basically the incarnation of your worst fears. I'm like, what if that spider is just the worst fear of No Way Jose and his people? Maybe they're all scared of spiders, really bad, because everybody's got a phobia. Yeah. What if, going back to the character that I was, which I am, it's a very mental thing where I'm stalking you. I know what your worst fears and phobias are, and I'm embellishing them. And anybody that wants to get past me has to get past their worst fear. And I was like, that would be intriguing. That would save whatever this was. And I was told, no, we're going to kill the spider in the ring. And that was the last match I had. It was the last match that it was with Drew. It wasn't really much of a match. It was just the story that killed the spider and got him over as a monster for working Brock. But then COVID hit. All the shows got canceled, and then it come April, they gave everybody that they didn't want their releases, and separate ways. Good luck.
Were you surprised at that? Because I mean, it seemed like you were still a staple character there, but to me, it was very surprising too.
I was obviously surprised. Now, after seeing everything the last couple of years there, or the last year and a half, no, not surprised at all. But at the time, with how much time you'd put in with the company, how many days you worked hard. I remember with the Bludgeons, I tore my bicep, and 2 days later I wrestled where we had to lose them, New Day, on SmackDown with the torn bicep, and I wrestled a 20-minute match. So I did things that maybe in retrospect I wouldn't have done had I known that something like that would have happened. Maybe I would have took the time off. But it's what it is. And it led to other things. And now that the world's finally opening up, it's a lot harder to be upset, because now you starting to do things on a more regular basis. When the first group of 30 of us got released, it was goodbye and nothing's open. And I think that's what was the hardest, was no one was really higher,
because the indie scene was shut down too. So that's true. Good stuff. Let me see, just a 30-second lightning round real quick. Let's see. How's like teaming with Daniel Bryan? Do you think that he was the best in the world?
Mike Bennett is the best in the world.
Okay.
but no,
interesting name.
Daniel's great. And you'd be silly not to learn anything from him.
True.
And plus, just working with him was fun, and working against him was fun. So,
do you think Bo Dallas should have been a member of the Wyatt family?
no,
Why not?
because it's character, not real life.
Yeah, true. How was it working with John Cena during your babyface run, your brief babyface run?
You learn things.
All right. All right. All right, here we go. Real quick. Kofi Kingston interview said that one chair shot that you gave him on one SmackDown was the hardest in his career. Do you remember that particular moment?
I certainly do. And I felt so bad for him. But Vince looked at me with him there and said, you need to make this. Like, you need to hit him. Mm-hmm. You need to make that sound. And yeah, it made the sound, but I felt so bad. It was so unnecessary because I remember it specifically because after I hit him with the chair, it disqualified. I think I ran him into the ring
barricade.
post.
Oh, the ring post.
Yeah, and me ramming it into the ring post looked more vicious than that
chair
shot that hurt him so bad. So I'm like, we totally could have done without that.
Yeah.
But Vince, when he wants something, you perform it. And I remember looking at Kofi even before he went out, and I'm like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't want to hit anybody with the chair.
Mm-hmm.
On the plus side of that, Triple H is the person that hit me the hardest with the chair. But I would give Kofi a chance to hit me with the chair. I don't think Triple H would give me a chance to hit him back.
Interesting. What do you think of Bray's Fiend character?
Run its course.
Very interesting. Okay.
Or should I say Alexa Bliss's new character?
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness.
It's
sad. Yeah, very sad. Why do you think he's not being acknowledged at all in WWE right now?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my last question to you before we go is how was it working with The Rock at WrestleMania?
Nice guy. I wish his movie he was doing would have let him take a shot.
Yeah, right.
but you know, it was a good spot to be in because wasn't doing that. It'd either be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale or catering. So thanks.
Yeah. Eric, The Rock versus Erick Rowan happened at WrestleMania, man. I mean, you know.
I always joked there was a certain number of people that had matches with The Rock at WrestleMania. I was one of them, but I clearly was not paid like the rest of his opponents.
That's true. But at the same time, you were one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Follow him at Erick Redbeard Erick Redbeard on Twitter for his newest and latest things. Buy his merch. If you're around his town that he's going to be at, go see him, visit this guy, watch this guy wrestle. He's got a lot left to offer, and he's going to a lot left to offer in the acting world now too. So that's really cool too, man. So best wishes on all your endeavors, my man. Appreciate you spending the time with me tonight.
Well, thank you for having me on that.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks a lot.
You too.
Bye-bye.